What is going on? Welcome to episode 9 of the Lifting Ugly podcast. I am your host for this fine Sunday. My name is Craig Bird. The man to the side of me here is none other than...
Hi, I'm Okay.
That is Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a guest today. We'll bring him on here in just a minute. We'll do some quick catch up and all that, which is good. For multiple reasons, I'm glad we have this guest. I've been sick for the last few days, so I don't know how much speaking I have left in me. It's just not
I feel you. I'm tired.
So you just finished your block, your last block before the meet. Is that correct?
Prep is done. We have our final deload. Some of the lifters have weigh-ins on Friday. I coach Saturday, get my weigh-ins done on Saturday, and then I compete on Sunday.
You'll have to keep us apprised of all activities that take place that day.
Oh, 100%. And if you want to do like a midweek recap on everything, we can do that.
Okay. We'll check in and see how everything's going.
Sounds good.
All right. So anyone who is out there listening, make sure that you help those that help us. And let's start. Because we had long discussions last week about our friends at Pioneer Lifting. So go to generalleathercraft.com and check out everything that Pioneer Lifting has as far as belts, lifting belts, regular belts, all sorts of leather things.
Leather accessories.
Leather accessories, as well as wrap straps and whatnot that they also have.
I just want those damn knee sleeves.
We gave them a lot of run last week. It was nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, all these places. Guess what? You can just stay online and do all these things. It's amazing. You can go to maxbarbell.com. At maxbarbell.com, you can find everything else that you can't find at Pioneer Lifting.
Oh yes.
So that's where you can go. That singlets. That's where we get our singlets from. Let's see, singlets, socks, whatever else. Shoes. Yes, that's where I've gotten all my shoes.
Yeah, the ones that you wear every time you lift.
Yes. All my lifting shoes I've gotten from maxbarbell.com.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you to maxbarbell.com.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us. If you did not link through Instagram at industry or not, I'm sorry, that's not us. That's us here at the gym that I'm at, not us here as a whole. So if you want to check out the gym here where I'm coming to you from, it's at industry_strength.co and check it out there. You can also go to the website. And all you do basically is you take out the underscore and add a .com at the end, and you'll find yourself at the website. Try and keep it streamlined here.
Super easy.
Now at lifting_ugly or search lifting ugly, and you can find us on most all social media platforms.
Oh yes.
And for this fine gentleman,
do you think you'll Oh, that's me. Hi. Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think now that Elon is running Twitter? I was lagging so hard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you think you'll hop onto Twitter now that Elon is running it?
I've tried Twitter before. I just can't figure out why it's a big thing.
Oh, I won't use it. I was just curious. Another platform to talk shit.
That's true. Hey, all right. Somebody scored a touchdown.
Yeah. Dude, my window, right outside my window, is a really shitty orange tree, and then the house right behind me.
Oh, okay. They're watching some sports ball over there.
Some big time sports ball watching over there.
All right. So good hold at Alkai here at bellies_out_benching. And follow the SoCal shenanigans of him and his friends, of Alkai and friends out there in California. Go to liftingugly.com. Oh, wait. Okay.
I was going to say, Adam's competing next weekend, too. So it'll be it'll be a decent amount of us that are about to compete.
Uh-oh. He'll be taking over.
Hopefully clean up shop. That's the goal.
All right. Come home with lots of pretty necklaces.
Pearl necklaces.
Right? Yeah, well, if you so desire, you can come home with those. All right. And go to our website. It's the Lifting Ugly website, liftingugly.com, where you can get all sorts of shirts. I have a shirt, flags, hats, beanies. A beanie was purchased right after I called out all of our lazy fans for not supporting. I did get a beanie purchased right after that. So, hey, guess what? For those who say, why do you talk crap to people? That can't possibly get them motivated to follow. It works.
Yes,
talking
shit
true.
is real motivating.
And anyone else who wants to support, go to patreon.com/liftingugly, where you can join one of a few different tiers that include different things. We'll get more into that at the moments when, again, you guys make it worth it. That's how that's going to work.
Fucking do something. Buy something.
Yeah, do something about it. All right, so we're gonna run through a quick Craig's Facebook corner before we jump into this, and then right after our intro, we'll get in with Jesse, who is our guest this week.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go this one here. I used to be married, but I'm better now. And my comment was, I keep getting sick. Now, I just want to preface it. It's not a preface anymore. I just want to say, these are just things that I say. They have no meaning or bearing on anything else other than it is just what I find to be funny to say.
Just talking shit. That's what you're really good at.
Next one. I post more memes and selfies because I'd rather see y'all smiling than falling in love. So my comment was that sock trough is mighty tantalizing.
So I'm assuming Randy posted that.
Randy did post that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the last one that we got here real quick. Believe it or not, some of your friends and relatives secretly hate you.
It's no
my
secret.
Response, yeah, it's no secret.
Fucking asshole.
My family loves me, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's no secret. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thanks for everyone for being here. We do have our guests. We're going to run this intro real quick, and then we will be right back with Jesse. And welcome back, everyone. We have a new face on the screen here. This is the guy I was telling you about. Is it 30? Let's see, we're going to do some quick math. 34 years that you've been in powerlifting?
I don't know. I don't do math. I think the petition I ever did was in 1988.
1988? So, okay. I'm going to say it's about 34 years. I think that might be right. So we'll just go with it. Okay. So over 30
that
years.
Makes 35 years old.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. So he's been in the game for over 30 years. Has a gym in, I guess it's officially in Parker. Is that correct?
Centennial,
or
actually.
Centennial?
Yeah.
Centennial, Colorado, just south of Denver. Physical therapist, is that correct?
Yeah, I used to do that a long time ago. Gym, and I do a lot of body work on people.
As well as powerlifting coach, and a lot of kind of where we want to end up today, kind of finding out how you got there is Are you are the state representative for the Special Olympics?
So this year, national games in Orlando, and I was the Colorado. So we had 4 athletes that we took them. 2 athletes represented from one team in Grand Junction, and then one of my athletes.
All right. So let's find out. Just we'll have to start from the beginning. You're from where I'm coming from. You're from Grand Junction, right? Is
Yep.
where the origins of Jesse come from.
Yeah.
And you went to school out here?
Yeah, I did. I went to school outside of the mountain afterwards. So.
And then, so what got you into powerlifting in the first place?
To lifting weights because we want to be closet body, and so then someone tells you about there's this other thing you can do where you can eat shorts on. I'm like, what? I lift heavy all the time, and so lift heavy, eat all the time, and shirt off. So I was like, this is perfect. And then I was actually a gym over there in a gym lifting weights, and I was I squat 405 for 11 reps at a bounce. And this lady, and lo and behold, she ends up being one of my best. Juanita Hill, who grew up in Grand Junction. I think she's a 4-time 13 national records, record for like over 17. First woman to squat 600. So that's
substantial.
Yeah, she's like introduced me to this thing where you
just eat, lift heavy, and do your thing.
Yep.
And kind of have a vague 6-pack.
Right.
Yeah.
Only when I wear a
Yeah, exactly. It's all right. It's all about traps and forearms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
So you went through obviously did a lot of powerlifting meets, competitions throughout.
Yes. So I did a high school. There was a PE coach there in the powerlifting. And he put on a local, and then in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I think I was one that, and then that's where I met Ed. He came up to that meet and helped judge, and we went out. He set me up on a napkin. I still built a routine out on that he wanted me to do. Started doing that routine, and then did a rifle. Some guy had to meet there in rifle, and then I went to my first qualified for my first nationals, 1995. I went to Philadelphia, went to Baton Rouge.
So
stuff.
Is it okay? Can you hear his audio? Okay.
It's cutting out decently.
Let's see. Jesse, can you sign out and sign back in real quick and see if that fixes that at all?
Wait.
Yeah, he keeps cutting out big time.
It's like a lag and a choppiness to it.
Yeah, and a staticky.
Yeah, hopefully that fixes. I don't know what.
Maybe it's his speaker on his laptop.
Yeah.
All right, can you hear me now?
That's much smoother.
Yeah, it's better. All right, cool.
All right, so you were in so basically after Ed Cohn wrote down you wrote down the basics of that program for him, you just started going everywhere and crushing numbers. Is that basically what it is?
Yeah, qualified for nationals, and it's in California. Did nationals again. I think the 8. I was compete for a while at 242s, obviously, because up to 242s, which was probably even though that was the lot of eating. So I'm only about 547 was my heaviest. So until Ed went up to 242s, and then I dropped back to 20. So first nationals in 98. 1998 and in 99 for 2000 nationals. I tore both my quads.
Oh.
Oof. In one shot?
Yeah. 218 attempt went down, came up, and I just heard this unusual sound ripping.
Oof.
And I said, get out of the way, and I did. And at the physical therapy at the community hospital, I got back into town, and he said bubble gum. So he just tore it apart like this, back filled full of blood.
Oof.
28 and a half, 29 inches round.
Oh.
That's some great
Jesus Christ. So you and Ed both blew your quads off.
So yeah. And then came back and did a meet in Utah. I was in Utah, and just to prove that and that was 2002. I did that meet. I squatted like 6, could do it. And then got married, had kids, stuff like that. So
and you decided you can't continue to wreck your body because you had other priorities at that point.
I beat my kids up a little bit when they got older.
Right.
Still gotta let him know his boss.
Well, speaking of, what's your son squatting right now?
Is 16, walking around about 180-ish or something like that. Squats, deadlifts for I think it's fat, and then benches 290.
Hell yeah, that's killer.
So, and playing. Wait, he plays inside linebacker. Or?
Inside linebacker on the number 3 ranked. Brackets came out, so
shit.
Yeah, he's tackle shy of 100 as a junior.
Jeez.
Clock's about 4.7.
Got a little speed to him as well. See, so
that's gonna be a dangerous kid, man.
we got a few goals before we graduate. He wants to squat 5 in that area, and then he wants to bench a 330.
I mean, with your help, it's not going to take too long.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Hell yeah.
He lives in all the times. Sometimes he morning and then goes to school and then comes back that after. So.
Oh, right on.
He digs it.
So did you say 2000 was your last meet you competed in?
2001.
2001.
2002.
And so was it strict? Did you do coaching pretty much right after?
I definitely helped out a lot of people, and then I and always like the guys who were running meets. They'd always call for hey, can you come and help for my trip? I'll go to Vegas really quick or wherever, and tag that way. And then I would kind of reach out and just ask if I'd help them through some kind of that. And then we started my kind of thing in 2011, and then busters and started really helping. Really started putting started putting a lot of science together. There wasn't a lot of information on powerlifting. I mean, it's even considered a sport. I mean, because 8-year-old can do it, an 80-year-old can do it. Is doing it, and they can only do it, right? So, but in the world, right? Because anybody can do it. I can fish, but for some reason, I'm not on the fishing.
Yeah,
everyone can do it, right? So it's a wonderful hobby. It's a hobby that I think everybody needs to, nobody, everybody's out to help everybody. Like, and as the guy who's in your bracket is, did all of my produce a bigger number at a meet? I can take fifth if I PR'd by, because no one paid me to make first. I didn't get paid $5 grand or 10. All I wanted to do is make sure I just my whatever I was doing was working, and then I got to go display my talent, and that was the most important thing to me. When we were in high school and there was only 30 people lifting, but we're handwriting scorecards. Nothing like we were there forever, but everybody, and I mean, it was different. Everybody on to be successful, because a lot of times you might have everyone in their own weight class anyways, their own division. You just want to lift more weights.
It's very true. I mean, I've only come across a few people that really suck in this sport. I mean, they've all been at competitions, but for the most part, it's always people just willing to get their shirt off their back for you, and it's definitely a nice quality that the sport has that not a whole lot of others have. I mean, we're all just trying to get the next best total.
When I lifted, we were all knew what raw was. So we took 3 people to get your shirt on. To get your shirt on. It took wraps and wrap you and stuff like that. Everyone was out to help everybody.
Absolutely.
Nobody, is different now with raw. You got, people. We took our full minute to get ready.
Oh, I mean, it took a village to do anything with single ply, multiply, whatever. Like when I was working with Seth, trying to help him get into his diaper suit was just like either we hung him from the squat bar and I tried to pull it into him, or like trying to just lay on the ground and put my feet on his shoulders and try and pull the fucking suit up. Like it's a mission.
Yeah. I mean,
it's exhausting trying to get that suit on, dude.
Yeah, 5 guys are knuckles just holding on the suit while you try to. But I mean, it took him. It wasn't like it was now, where you just have like probably he's training and they get in and get out. It took.
No, it's a whole adventure trying to get someone with their wraps on, trying to get their suit on. It's just, it definitely it takes more than 2 people to try to get that shit done.
So then, what federations have you been involved with the most?
So I competed pretty much under US, and then I was probably 9 or something like that. It broke off into US, and then I've been a part of WRPF. We've even done a couple of USAPL meets. I never looked at it as like a federation meet against somebody else. It was just always, to this day, I'm going to my best competition squat could never get 705 on the platform, double in the gym once, but could make it work. And that's that, 700, 700 took first, second, or third. Man, I don't even know if we really got like messed. I think I have because like, hey, you took first. Okay, great.
on to the next one. Yeah.
You haven't even had medals. I mean, I don't. It was weird. My first nationals was in. I got to watch Kirk, and then I got to watch Shane Ham. At super heavies at. I got to see Gene Bell like something at 198. Crazy the people that came out, and that this is so cool because fucking the earth just like I do. It's not like they're letting you like can't touch. I mean, like you're like, hey, try this, try that. I saw I think he pulled 800 in his spin. George Brink pulls like 800. Oh my god, this is fun.
Rad.
And that stuff kind of get you hyped because someone else can do it,
No, it definitely keeps your hopes up. That's for sure. That's why, like, I don't know. With most meets that I'm going into, I'm more so curious to see what everyone else is gonna do. Like, I'm excited to compete. I'm excited to do my thing, but I love watching everyone else do their shit. Like, even if I don't place, like, it's kind of cool to watch what people are capable of because I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe that's my next step, or maybe that's my next number. But I don't know. It's always interesting to watch. I compete on next Sunday, so I'm excited to get myself going again. It's at a gym in Vista, California called Ironmongers.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's USPA. Yeah. So they host WRPF and USPA. This one's I think this one's a qualifier for nationals in Alabama next year. So hopefully we can qualify for something because it's about goddamn time that I do.
No, I mean, and that's the thing too is like, you get into this, it gets kind of, and I think everyone should probably let her go in nationals just for the
experience of it.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, really, they can't afford it or whatever. Stay at home and make the same record.
Yeah.
There.
Exactly.
You're fine there. I mean, there's a lot of times where because I was going to take a vacation with it,
Yeah, I mean, make a little something out of it.
One of those things where, if you can't still keep competing, but if you ever do, I think you do one. Every organization is putting. I mean, Mike is doing some fun stuff, and I broke off 3 years ago. Still tries to, Steve's still trying to do his USPF is starting to try to make a push this big in east sides of the state, trying to make a push down here now too. Yeah. And APF is trying to make a push down here. So doing me cool. And see where you're at. A lady who's getting ready for a meet up here at Pursuit, and she just wanted something to train for. That's what powerlifting is, right there, man.
Right. Dude, right.
Like, if I don't have a game plan or if I don't have a meet set up, like, my training doesn't ever go to shit, but it's just like it kind of. It's more like lackluster. Like, I need to be training towards something. I need to be working towards something. I need to have some sort of goal at the end of my 6 months of torture, or else it just, to me, it's kind of for naught. It definitely makes a huge difference.
Powerlifting's rough. It's tough.
Dude.
Brutally beats you up and mentally messes you up.
Oh, dude. I mean, I I've been training since January for this one on Sunday. So and I just hit my last. We just did our openers this week, and everything moved fine, but it's just nothing moved as fast as I wanted it to. It's just I don't know. I'm at the point where I feel like I've been hit by a fucking bus so many goddamn times. I'm so ready for this.
Don't hit your openers, man.
Yeah,
Don't hit your openers. That's a big man watching it, because there's days you get up, best squat day ever.
Yeah.
And then you can't. And who knows? Maybe you ate. Yes. Who knows what it is? Mm-hmm. The whole point of the competition is see. But if you play with your numbers ahead of time, you just start questioning.
Yeah. That mental aspect of am I going to do it? Yeah. Well, thankfully, food and sleep and everything's been on point. It was more like a ballpark, so I think it was relatively within the 10-15 pound range of what we were planning on hitting. So nothing felt bad, nothing was beat up. It was just that okay, this is the last week of training, so things are just things are fucking tired. My body hurts.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's tough, and you start bringing in the mental aspect. You get really jacked up if you and it doesn't go.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like you thought.
Yeah, no, I mean
it's really bad, man.
Yeah, so I mean, thankfully, I know I'm a game day guy, so even if I don't hit something that I know I should have hit, I know it's going to be their meet day. It's just there's something about the environment, there's something about having my training partners there, and that's just, call it the adrenaline aspect, but I know I'm always gonna. I'm a hit what I need to hit, that's for sure, and I'm excited about it. So I didn't let it get to my head too bad. Yeah.
Published on that. I think it was published that talked about usually if their training was on par, they're good. Just from the environment or upper, just the serotonin crowd. From the 4 days, 3 days rest, whatever you do, there was a good for another 15. I had a guy a couple weeks ago. Deadlift was supposed to be 475. Couldn't pull it. That told me I didn't do it. Man. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And ends up pulling something like that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Right now, my curse number for deadlifts is 730. So I hit it a month ago, and it got stuck in my fucking knees because my starting position was off just a little bit. I had a little bit too much sodium that morning, so it was hard for me to get down to the bar and brace properly. And then not this past week, but the week beforehand, I got it. It locked out, but it started slipping out of my fingers because my fucking hand wasn't planted hard enough on the bar. So the plan is just to ignore that number in general and try and go right past it because the speed off the floor was fine.
You do something, sub underneath that where you're okay now. So and it just kind of goes. So.
Well, we did. We tried 716 the previous weeks before that, and it flew off the ground. So we were like, all right, we're gonna try 730 in 3 weeks, and it just wasn't there that day. And then the other week, it was there. It came off the ground just fine. It never got stuck, but my fucking hand started slipping. And that's one thing that I like to think I pride myself in is good grip. And I don't know, call it adrenaline or whatever you want to call it. But I rushed my setup and I did get my hand planted strong enough. And it just started, I got to the top and it started slipping into my fingers. By the time I was at the top, it was sitting right here. And I'm not going to adjust, 7+ in my hands just to curl it.
It was hugely important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's your grip. So whatever they say from here to here and from here to here, they your wrist.
Yeah.
So the only connection is your grip.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll hear me coach people squeeze the shit out of that on squat, bench, and dead. Because it's your shoulder, neurologically, connection. You don't feel like you have the bar. It's really important. I mean,
Oh yeah,
grip is important to me than anything. Is just that is grabbing it. So you better have squeeze the living shit out of it.
Oh, it'll be death grip on Sunday, man. Yeah, I'm gonna find some way to overcompensate and make sure that bar is absolutely planted in my fucking hand. Because that's my one thing for bench is after I get my setup, if there's one thing that's really worked for me is I'm ring finger on the knurling brake on the outside. So I plant my hand and then I work my way from my pinky to my thumb because I mean this is going to be the strongest part of your hand, right? So I want to make sure that this is planted. So I drive extra hard with the outside of my palm just to make sure it doesn't come flying out of my hands onto my chest.
Mm-hmm.
But I just with I think it's I don't know if it's a pronator or a supraspinatus lack of mobility, but like trying to supinate my hand to get down to the bar was not there that day. And I grabbed with these and I basically had a shotgun hand because my fucking pinky couldn't grab the bar tight enough. And it just fell out of my hand, which just aggravated the shit out of me.
You can do so just do like a upside down kettlebell. Extend your arm all the way, rotate.
Okay. I do it with we have a heavy wooden dowel that I use, and I grab the opposite end of it, and I slowly supinate and pronate my hand.
Do it with the kids so it feels the same as if you got weight in your hand. Then it translates into your shoulder better. When you're doing a weighted rotation, learn that. So then when you take it off, it rotates even more in that contracted position.
Imitates more of that weighted movement. Yeah, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I do that a lot of people that have shoes.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the plan after this meet is I mean there's obviously kinks and dings that need to be worked out, but we're gonna do a little bit of a body recomp and then just hammer out mobility work because my upper back needs a lot of love, and my mobility in my thoracic cavity is absolute dog shit. So
right.
And it was starting to take a toll on my bench for a little bit, so we started working on a whole lot of it. But yeah, it's just that's definitely the one thing that I need to be on top of more is making sure everything's mobile enough to make sure that the movement moves properly without anything coming flying off.
If you look at human movement in general, you have to be more. You can be stable, and you have to be stable before you. Those are the 3 S: mobility, stability, then strength. Mm-hmm. In the strength, you want to protect the move they're doing well, correct a little bit along the way, to perform, and then you redo that. Yeah. Protect, correct, develop. So I have to do that a lot. Like logically, they could be really, really. You're doing this well. Let's just try a little. Then they correct it, and we do it really good a little bit, and then we come back to the drawing board, protect.
Yep. Makes a whole lot of sense.
So what you're most involved now is, I mean, you have your people that you're working with, but you're most involved with the Special Olympics. Is that right?
So right now we just ran a go. It was a and again every year with the idea of hoping and having at least 20 to 30. And we're gonna grow. So we're looking at a meet with the idea of trying to run quadrants of high school. Try to run by year 5. So we're gonna run like east west, and then we're gonna run like a Denver, and then we'll run like an all-state kind of something like that.
That's
I have ideas. Yeah, I have ideas to grow east. 1,000 a year through all the meets.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And so we're gonna really kind of develop that. If you like all your brands and stuff like that, they all look at high school work, and some have even recognized it at work. I talked to Chassa a little bit. We're in discussions a little bit with them to sport if we decide to go that route. If I want to do that, right? I mean, once you start doing this or sees everything, you get a governing body. It gets PA, it gets like WRPF, it gets like US. I don't know if we'll ever turn it over to them, but start to show it and kids want it. Maybe we'll make it all right.
Right.
That'd be rad.
I know we have a lot of high school kids that obviously they come into the gym for various reasons, but then they see the guys that are doing powerlifting, those types of movements anyways, and are always very interested, probably for the same reason that you became interested when you were in high school. Is like, okay, so I can lift weights, I can lift heavy, and I can eat whatever I want. That's not the diet restriction.
Within reason.
Sign me up. Right. Within, and it's not, it's not that's where we all go off the rails, is we're like, oh yeah, we can do whatever we want. But with it, but it's not a bodybuilding, nutrition plan. And so it's a little more appealing.
Not that regimen.
No, dear God, no.
But I think it would be great to see like something for them. I mean, I guess they can do regular meets, but for them to be able to compete as a high school, a high school team, I think would be. I mean, it'd be fun. I think it would give them just another avenue to kind of direct everything. Versus it's got to be football, baseball, wrestling. They can go strictly for that.
If you look at all the right, so Chassa tells the football coach you can start making contact with your players. Or you can't make contact with them anymore. A bunch of coaches from wrestling in high school, and they're like high school sport, because guess what? You're a powerlifting coach. So now they're going to make sure and doing it on a consistent basis. It's a high school sports. It's high school season. It's high need to be here. You have to be here, which is, they can't do anything. They just say, I hope I can assist you in any way, but I can't reprimand you if you don't. Would help that with a lot of it.
Right.
And it would help all of our gyms. It would help your gym, our powerlifting clubs.
Right, exactly.
Powerlifting clubs, like they have chess club or whatever clubs they want. Now they have a powerlifting club from that, and then the spinoff is all benefit too. Because if you got some kids that say I abs records, well then go break records. You can go to a PA meet or a WR USA. It'll benefit everybody.
Right.
High school going, because all your pools are powerful. So we got to get this thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's nothing more aggravating than watching a kid who has only lifted with his high school team work out in your gym, and you get to see all the terrible techniques and everything that they get taught at school, because there is really nobody there that can teach them, that does teach them properly. The coaches know how to coach their sport. They don't know how to coach lifting.
I think they need to stay in their own lane, but I mean, we see that at all the high school football level. All these high school football coaches just would go, yeah, why don't you worry about more plays? Things with players are analyzing, doing something you're really kind of not good at.
Right. There's a reason that when you get into college, they have strength and conditioning coaches specifically for that purpose, to make sure that.
And big colleges have like that's all they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
That guy from I think it's Tennessee was the highest paid one, $15,000 a year or something like that. So what he's making.
Yeah, it's just that there's not much incentive when you're not getting paid that well.
Right.
Oh no, I credit because he was eating peanut butter jelly for probably 10 to 15 years. A job that paid him enough to get an apartment. So
right.
And then having to work weekends when you're out of season and blah blah blah, and just dude, like because the strength coaches at Mesa make dog shit money, and it is just like you can't survive off of it. So you have to have some other form of income on top of the 60 hours that you're putting inside of the gym with your athletes. Because that's a 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. day, Monday through Friday. Depending on what fucking sport you're with.
Yeah, I mean,
blah blah blah.
A lot of your D2 programs, man, they need to hire a career.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that, like, if I job at that level, let's say I'm at 55, 57, whatever, all my time and all my effort, because I want to see if we can win a title or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to get married here in another 3 years. How am I going to live off of 55 a year, you 70 hours a week, and being here around week?
Yeah. It's exhausting, man.
The guy on the tail end, and he might be forever.
But I mean, just what I noticed, like in general, like with the guy now and then the dude beforehand, it's the same injuries. It's always a quad issue, or it's always a hamstring issue. It's always a rotator cuff. Like it's always the same injuries that I've noticed, just because there's so many imbalances with the training. So like the way I see it is like if you're going to be investing in yourself and trying to get a season without injuries, trying to make it to playoffs without injuries, like, or an entire season without a kid having to back out due to something that was poorly done in the weight room, like that's, I mean, to me that should always be priority. But like I did a couple of afternoons in Mesa's weight room downstairs, and it was just hard to watch, man. Like, I mean, I get it, it's really hard, like especially when you're working with football boys or something like that, and you have a room full of 60 dudes. It's kind of hard to keep track of what everyone's doing. But if you're using weightlifting for GPP or just general strength, why not just use basic movements instead of clean and jerk or hang cleans, or just like keep it simple, do box squats, use the trap bar. Like, I don't know, to me, using simple movements can carry over a lot farther when you're using strength training as a secondary,
I mean, I'm a big proponent of like the in a high school weight room.
Mm-hmm.
That you better be doing that well.
Yeah,
because that's a high reward, move. But I mean, you're doing it in a group setting, and they're kind of doing it on their own, and you're just kind of watch. Someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's the regression of the movement. So you got to teach them how to front squat properly. I got to teach them how to hang clean properly. Like there's so many other components that can just be eliminated if you're using basic movements for strength. I don't know. There's so many holes in what I see. It's just hard to watch.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That too. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't and snatches. I mean, if you got a good, I think you can. If you don't, you can sign a good deadlift.
Right.
Yeah.
It solves all problems. If you can squat and deadlift good, I mean, what else do you need in life?
I don't know. I'm a fan of a big bench, but maybe just my shoulders are fucked up.
My bench was only like a 4. I think I did like a 407 competition at 220.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. So I was talking to the gym owner that of the place that I'm training at now, and it's just this sport can get so convoluted when you're around the strong people 24/7. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy to diminish your lift when you're like, oh, okay, I only bench this much because everyone around me at this weight class is doing this. Like, you're still fucking benching 400 pounds. Like, you still got to hold 400 pounds in your hand with stability and make sure you lock that shit out. Like, it's hard to kind of keep your numbers in check. Like, because my training partner is he's a 242. He'll squat close to 7. He'll bench over 5, and we're planning on pulling 800. So like the dude is an absolute fucking powerhouse, but it's so hard to keep your numbers in check when you're around strong people 24/7 because that's your normal now. You're kind of in the group of the smaller niche of people that are, I'm not saying better than other people because that's so wrong to say, but you're around people that are just strength wise a lot higher than most people are. So it gets so lost in the mix with being happy with your numbers, I guess. That's one thing that I've really tried to teach myself is making sure that I'm happy with what I'm doing and the progress that I'm making.
Actually, it's your number, man. I mean, you're not going to meet saying, I just want to beat my numbers. I want to validate
absolutely,
my
man.
All my hard work. That's something. Whether it ends up being whatever, but just as long as you PR to first.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is if I can PR my total and PR my numbers, I'm super cool with that. I never go into a meet looking up or looking who I'm going up against and all that kinds of stuff. Cause for me, it makes the thing wishy-washy when I'm in the first place. I'm doing this for myself, So even if I don't make the podium, if I still put 60, 70 pounds on my total, I'm stoked with that. We're making some big jumps. So I'm excited to see what we end up doing.
Yep.
So
that's how everyone should live. Got a lot.
Absolutely, man.
That's okay. I'm not. I don't care. Whatever. But I just always try to chase my.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I want to do is before I walk up to the platform thinking okay, if I don't make this number, I'm not qualifying for this. Or if I don't make this number, I'm not going to make podium or blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's just because I didn't play sports growing up and I just don't have I want to say externally competitive nature. When it comes to myself, I'm going to make sure I push myself in the right direction and make sure that I'm going to do what I'm doing. But I'm not physically trying to be there to compete against other people. I want to make sure that I leave that meet with a bigger total than I did, 6 months ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jesse, we want to have you on again, if that works for you. Probably be a couple weeks from now. He's got his meet next weekend, so we probably won't do a whole lot then. But yeah, we'll schedule a timeout. That way we can get kind of into, like you talked about, the science, more of the science and in the movements of the powerlifting movements for everyone to kind of get a better idea of what we're looking for. And you've been around it long enough. You've been teaching it long enough. There's sometimes I know what I'm looking for. I don't know how to explain it. And so I like when people know more than me can actually explain it so that I'm like, yes, that's what I wanted to say.
I think
and it just kind of give
best thing in that there's so many different ways to teach squat, bench, and dead anymore. Like you said, a lot of ways to understand it so you can, because everyone's going to be at a different. So some you're going to go, find a way that clicks with them and you world, right? Because I'm not going to they just want to come out here and lift and have it. I want to get better. They're soon get better. So you just find little you said that make it easier to relate to or explain it in a way that they understand. That's the thing I try to learn from a lot of analogies that people use to explain. You just can't get down. You're like, how does a gorilla like that? Perfect. Pick the bar up now.
Yeah.
That's exactly. All I wanted. Get like a girl. There you go. You did it. Instead, we're a little bit, but keep your shoulders slightly here. Squeeze your shoulders. You're like, stand like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now
go.
I didn't think it's like that, man. That's what we want.
I mean, good cues and making sure training's fun are two of the biggest components. If you can't communicate with your lifters and you can't pick up on their nonverbals and the verbal communication, obviously, it's going to make training so much more difficult. Keep things simple, man. That's definitely one thing I've learned is you don't need to do the fancy shit, because that's when people start getting pissed off and thinking you're just trying to be smarter than them and blah, blah, blah. So find the easiest way to communicate complex things simply, and you are in the clear.
And it's still just picking up heavy shit and putting it down.
Exactly. Like, God damn, man.
That's the birth of a personal trainer.
Jesus, yeah.
You know?
So we
absolutely,
not every time, but this time we have a little, I call it a game show. It's just a game that we do called White Lights, Red Lights. Obviously, you know what the significance of the white lights, red lights is. And then I just give scenarios that you will judge based on, obviously, 3 white lights positive, 3 red lights negative, and then the in-betweens.
Okay.
I mean, you can obviously have your druthers and explain yourself if you want to do like 2 reds and 1 white, or so on and so forth. Like, you can have your explanation to why you feel about things. Yeah.
So this is where I'm gonna let Alkai take it away. Do you have a setup? Do you have a setup you can come up with?
Oh man, I feel like I've exhausted so many of them. I've gone so into detail and I've gone so lavish with them. We'll keep this one safe for the or nice and easy for the listeners.
Let's do a basic.
All right, so powerlifting, super simple. What the judges are looking for, or what the lifters are looking for. Excuse me. 3 white lights, 2 white lights. 1 white light is a huge bummer. 2 red lights, huge bummer. 3 red lights, absolute failure. And the only time I ever see 3 red lights being okay is if you gave it your all and it just wasn't there that day, but you didn't give up. You either blacked out or you dropped it.
All right.
Passed out, baby.
Yeah. Blackout or back out.
Seeing a couple of those. All right. So this has nothing to do with lifting at all. We did talk about this on the podcast last year. It did come up, but I'm going to break it down more specifically. We did a white lights, red lights where I brought up adults in costumes. Do you remember that, Alkai?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I think it's a kind of weird adults in costumes. That's just my personal thing. But I wanted to break it down because there's a wide range of what we call adults. All right. So first one is going to be, we're just going to go age brackets. So in their 20s. So adults, I guess if we're going to call, sorry, Alkai, kids in their 20s, adults. Is it okay for 20-year-olds to go out dressed up? We'll start with you, Jesse.
They're 20-year-olds to get dressed up. I'd say yes, as long as there's a cash.
Yeah,
no, if you're just do it. But if there's a cash prize for the bet, I say it's okay.
It's like a costume contest.
You're going to be the only one dressed. So,
yeah.
But it's got to be 20 years. Like, I don't want you going as a 20 stupid cartoon that relates to a 13-year-old. You're going 20-year-old dressed up as like, one year I got dressed up and I went at, right? All white swim team. That's an appropriate. I'm not.
So generationally, it has to make sense. Yeah.
Then on white lights, if you do that shit, you got red.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that's horrible.
Okay, what's your stance?
I guess it depends. I live in California, so you're going to see some real interesting costumes on the weekends. I still bounce out here, so I get to see the weirdest of the weird. I don't know why everyone has to have a slutty rendition of everything. Nurse, referee, vampire, blah, blah, blah. And then half the dudes down
about
here.
This?
Well, I'm gonna say no, but half the time it's the dudes that are dressing up like that, and I'm like, all right, well, that's a little too much. That's too much skin for me. Yeah. I'll give it 2 whites, 1 red. 1 red being there's either that really crappy costume someone tried too hard, didn't try hard enough, or they're just sloppy with it, you know? Like you could have done a little bit better. So I'll give it 2 whites just to be safe.
All right, and then we'll skip the 30s. Is just pretty much going to hit. I mean, it's just going to land in the middle where it is. So, how about people over 40?
You know, I gotta kind of give it. I mean, is have a party, but I'm not a big fan. I give because the only thing I'd say on that is dressed up in that age group. They're doing it in fun little like.
That's fair.
You know, married. You know, he's Al Bundy and showing something like that, like a lock and key.
Right. Like a dress as your spouse kind of thing.
You got some goofy together thing. 40 and you're doing it by yourself. I'd have to get.
See, that just feels extra lonely though. If you're seeing some like
right. Go to have a good time, but
just makes me sad.
Getting dressed up.
Right. I see a lot of it posted, and it feels. I mean, we're in an age of look at me anyway, and that's just extra. Like just, I don't know. It's really, you know, I won't fault anyone for doing it if they want to. It just makes me feel weird.
Well, it's always the same people that post too much on Facebook.
Well, that's true too. All right, and then the other one, I have 2 more, not about costumes. I think we did one of these last year as well. But all right, so white lights, red lights on candy corn.
Ugh.
All red.
Oh man,
it's
my man.
Worst freaking in the world, man. You need to like. I gotta pay you to take that shit.
I think it's so
my
funny
boys
that
eat that. It's the one candy that I cannot like. I'm not gonna eat it because that's trash.
The texture, the taste. I mean, Craig also likes eating candy. Period, regardless of what it is, as long as it has sugar in it. So
if it is sugar,
I've seen him hoof down Peeps, and those are fucking disgusting. Because he has the palate of a 6-year-old.
So what I think is interesting, because I like all these candies that everyone says they hate. I like candy corn. I like Peeps. I like circus peanuts. Everyone says they hate them.
They're so gross.
But yet every year these things are put out and they're sold off the shelves. And so somebody's got to like. I just don't think people are confident. Like I think they feel so beat down by all the negativity that they're afraid to come out and express.
Look at you getting so defensive over garbage candy.
Maybe their person that's buying them is the one that really likes them and gives it so like knowing that they're going to get to eat them all year.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like the idea of it. Like, okay, it's Halloween, so I have to buy this to give them out. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they just leave it. It's a decoration they put in a bowl and just sits there.
If you get a bunch of candy corn from Craig, because you're not going to touch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but Craig, you're the guy at the party who's just sitting there eating the garbage candy out of the bowl.
I would be on the couch. I'd have the little bowl, and I just
soberest guy there, super jacked up on sugar.
My mind running wild from all the sugar.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one is basically a yes or no, because I have a problem with the terminology. Is a fun-sized candy bar really fun?
Fun.
Is there?
I'd say no.
Yeah.
It's not big enough, clearly.
Yeah. There's nothing, you can ask any woman out there, there's nothing fun about something that big.
Hey man, that's average.
And if you're already questioning this, I gotta be fun anyway. To put the word fun next to the size on anything, you're good anyway. So
they should just put adorable on it instead.
You just right.
It's like fun.
Adorable.
Raising nothing.
Look, this
was
is
fun about the size.
No, not at all.
It's not fun, right? It's fun. Like, where do I get fun in fun rate? The word fun next to anything doesn't work out.
Exactly. Like when they throw extreme or they throw anything else. It's just they're trying to convince themselves that it was a good idea.
Exactly.
Price for fun.
You're right. Just because it's fun. All right. Well, Jesse, thanks for joining us.
Jail time afterwards.
Yeah.
Required if I have any fun after.
All right. Well, Jesse, we appreciate you joining us today. We will bring you back on and we'll
leave you with this.
Okay.
So may all your lifts be light.
Well, right on.
Okay. May all lifts be light.
I heard.
And all your.
Well, all right. I'll take that.
That's what it's about.
Like I said, we'll schedule another one and we'll get you back on and get more in depth on the actual lifting itself.
Sure. Sounds good. Let me know.
Awesome, Jesse. Thanks for joining us.
Later, man.
You bet.
All right. We'll buy him a microphone.
Yeah, we should.
But
I got about half of all of that.
We get the gist of what was going on.
Yeah, I wish I heard more of his ending statement.
Well, we'll get it again.
Yeah,
we're gonna revisit the things that we missed. That's the only thing I can think is that it had to be a mic issue, but we'll get that straightened out so that way we can hear more of what he's got. That's why I didn't want to get too crazy into any of the details because I didn't want anyone to miss. I mean, what is going to be like some good ass information.
The dude's a wealth of knowledge, so
right. So we want to make sure that we have the best opportunity. So I'll maybe connect with him and get kind of a check as well, and make sure that we're set up so that next time we can all, we get the best information we possibly can out of it. All right, let's go over these real quick. Again, generalleathercraft.com for Pioneer lifting stuff. MaxBarbell.com for lifting stuff other than what's at Pioneer. Mm-hmm. You can visit the gym here where I'm at industry_strength.co. Or just at industry_strength.co. The .com is for the website. Show at lifting_ugly. Search lifting ugly. Speaking of, you can follow Alkai at bellies_out_benching.
It's pretty mediocre, but we're here.
It's all sorts of fun at your gym place. And all the crew over there that you've got. All right, make sure you go to our website, liftingugly.com. Check out everything that we have available there. Patreon.com/liftingugly, where you can join as a monthly subscriber. Okay, best of luck this week as you prepare for your meet.
Thank you. And I will prep my meat properly.
Yes, we need properly prepped meat for the best results.
I want a thick marinade on this meat.
We'll follow up with you shortly after
Yeah.
And we'll probably post the results, so anyone that cares to know may know ahead of time. Otherwise,
if anyone gives a fuck.
That's right. If anyone really cares. Otherwise, we'll get the rundown when we resume this here podcast in a couple or so weeks.
Yepers.
It's been a blast.
Huge pleasure as always.
Oh, someone's got to get a huge pleasure from visiting with me for an hour.
All the pleasures. I'm soaking wet. I don't know if you are.
Oh, I am fairly damp, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Not just in my pits.
No, it's one of those things. So thank you for that.
You're super welcome. No, thank you.
All right, we'll see you.